you're watching Medically Speaking. I'm Meenakshi Upreti. I'm being joined by V. Simpson Emmanuel. He's the CEO and Managing Director of Roche Pharma India. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Tell us about this first fixed dose combination of two monoclonal antibodies, which is touted to be a game changer when we speak of the treatment of breast cancer, sir.
When you actually look at a product like PHESGO, let me start by saying that it's a fixed dose subcutaneous formulation that combines two drugs, Perjeta, which is pertuzumab, and Herceptin, which is trastuzumab. And these were available as two different monoclonal antibodies, and this is the first time two monoclonal antibodies have been combined as a fixed dose combination. And the best part is usually Perjeta and Herceptin are administered intravenously. But with PHESGO, a fixed dose combination will be administered under the skin as one injection, as a subcutaneous injection. So if you look at pertuzumab in PHESGO is the same monoclonal antibody as the IV Perjeta, and trastuzumab in PHESGO is the same monoclonal antibody as the IV Herceptin. So it is the world's first fixed dose combination of two monoclonal antibodies in the oncology segment.
When was this developed, sir? How does it work? How is it administered? And how does it help with the treatment of breast cancer?
It is addressing one form of breast cancer, which is called the HER2 positive breast cancer. There are different subtypes of breast cancer. And so patients who have this HER2 positive have a more aggressive form of cancer. And there are some specific treatments that are targeting this subform. The first one was invented and made available by Roche in 1998. And since there have been several different follow-up compounds, and this is the latest innovation. So it's not for all breast cancer patients, it's for these patients who are positive, HER2 positive. And then the development has taken place globally, leveraging the experience of the two single components and having a specific clinical development program that demonstrates that there is an equivalency in the way that the drug is delivered to the patient. So in the blood, eventually, you will get the same amount of drugs. That's the first step. But of course, then demonstrating that the efficacy and safety are comparable. That was also done in clinical trials. And the last step is to evaluate what would be the interest of patients and of healthcare professionals for this form of administration. And here, the response was also that there is 85% of patients say that they vastly prefer this fixed dose combination, because it's not only that the two drugs are in the same vial in a fixed dose, it's also that the time to get the treatment moves from hours to minutes. When patients need to receive one cycle of this treatment by IV, it is an infusion, meaning that you put the drug in a bag, and then the bag needs hours to deliver the drug slowly to the body. When you give this injection under the skin, it's a matter of 5 to 8 minutes, and then you observe the patient for 15 to 30 minutes, and the patient can go home. So instead of spending one full day or 46 hours in hospital, it's a matter of a couple of minutes for the injection, observation, and the patient can go home. So that's the key change that is brought by PHESGO.
Where is this treatment already available, sir, and how many patients have benefited from the same?
It is already registered in, I think, 40-odd countries. And the total number of patients who have received the treatment so far worldwide is around, I think, 17,000 patients. It is picking up. I think that you have the statistics. Rajan, could you share?
So PHESGO is approved in 73 countries worldwide. It was first approved in the US in mid-2020. And globally, as of now, about 17,000 patients are on this therapy.
How has the response been so far, sir? How many patients have benefited from the same treatment?
We're just very early into the launch, I would say a couple of weeks now, and the initial response has been extremely positive and encouraging, both from the patient side as well as from the healthcare practitioner side. because as Bruno very clearly articulated, that it's a huge convenience. We are talking about hours being compressed into minutes, and we are talking about 5 to 8 minutes of administration time. Traditionally, if you look at it, the patient has to take the infusion over a 4 to 6 hour period, and there's also a preparation time for the doctors as well, and then there is an observation time. So the entire day is lost. So we've had some very, very interesting feedback that has come from the patients. In fact, globally, there's been a study which says that 85% of the patients want to continue with a subcutaneous formulation. So the initial feedback is very promising.
So what is the cost of treatment, the duration it takes, and is it covered under insurance in India?
So let me start with your question on the insurance part. When it actually comes to IRDAI recommendations, I think we have had some major developments which have happened where the insurance coverage now includes various modern treatment methodologies, which include immunotherapies, monoclonal antibodies given as an injection. Now, since this continues to be an injection, this will ideally have to be covered by all insurers. But we are working with all the insurance providers to ensure that the patients are going to be kind of like having adequate support, not inconvenienced. Along with this, we also have a dedicated patient support program through Roche, in which we significantly drive access to standard of care treatment for breast cancer patients in India. And we have multiple financial methodologies through which we subsidize therapy as well. We also know that there are a lot of reimbursed segments, especially in the government, in the central and the state governments, where Perjeta is already available in the formulary. And we are also working with this particular set of reimbursed institutions to ensure that PHESGO is included into the formulary and protocols and can benefit more patients as well. And if you look at the pricing per se, so as I mentioned earlier, PHESGO is a dual innovator FDC. It provides the best standard of care for how to foster breast cancer patients right now. It also has a time-tested efficacy, but the interesting aspect is it doesn't come at a premium. It is in fact 20% lower in terms of cost when compared to those two compounds purchased individually. So it also comes at a huge cost advantage to the patients.
Thank you for joining us on NewsX, sir.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.